Today is Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025, and it is Yom Shlishi, the third day of the week, the ninth day of El, and it is the 10th day of Rabi al-Awal, the third month of the Islamic calendar, the year 1447, the Hijri calendar, and it is again, is Yom Shlishi, 9 Elul. I found it interesting that I started to include the Islamic calendar during the time of Elul, and the Islamic calendar, the months drift. They go throughout the year, and as it just so happens to be that El Awal sounds a lot like Elul, and that's the month we're in now that corresponds to Elul, and that's when I started to include the Islamic calendar. The Hebrew year is 5785. The Parsha is Ki Teitzei, and the Daf Yomi is Avodah Zarah 76, the very last page of Avodah Zarah. And it's interesting how 9-2, the digits of 9 and 2, September 2nd, corresponds to the digits of the word Avodah Zarah. Avodah Zarah equals 299 in regular Hebrew Gematria, and we're finishing that today on 9-2. And this is the PL-89 Gematriatic Quantum Thought Calendar. It's a lunar, solar, Hebrew, Gregorian, Julian, Daf Yomi, Koach, Kochav Chama, which is the Hebrew way of saying Mercury, calendar, a Koach calendar, that is based on verses in the Bible, and the concept is it's the operating apparatus of a program that I call Gematriona. If Gematriona is the software, then the PL-89 is the hardware. And what that means, practically speaking, is that time moves in a particular direction. I've heard the term the arrow of time. And in this arrow of time, it can be measured. We can look at it in clocks or calendars. And I see this flow of time as an energy. It's like a flow. And this flow carries with it all kinds of let's just say that the numbers in it help harness the energy in it. That's the basic idea. And these numbers here focus thought within time. That's what it means when I say Gematriatic thought calendar. It focuses thought like a laser beam. And when you look at a number, your thought, your intention goes, and it says it's got to be that number and not the other number. That's why I heard in a shir one time that numbers, in a way, is like din. It's like judgment, which is one of the qualities in the Kabbalistic, the tree of life. Numbers, judgment is one of them. Chesed is the mercy, kindness. Judgment is severity, strictness. And I can see what he meant by that. That numbers are din, are judgment, because it's specific. It can't be anything else. If a person doesn't have enough money, they can't pay it. Then mercy has to kick in. Then maybe if they can't pay it, maybe then someone else has to say, okay, I'll give it to you for less. But if you don't have the money, you can't pay it. That's the judgment. And that's where the numbers come in. That's where money and time is also, I think English Gematria, time is equal to judge, 47. And I see that. I mean, you see that with time, with money. If there's not enough time, you're not going to make it. You can tell on the clock, listen, it takes us 15 minutes to get there, and it's already 4:30. We're not going to make it there by 4:45, whatever, 4:40, 4:40, 4:41, whatever. 4:40. We're not going to make it by 4:40. I'm trying to think of a good gematria. We won't make it by 4:41. 4:41 is emet, truth. We won't make it by 4:40 is met, death. Anyway, 4:39 is galus. 4:38 is, I don't know. 4:37 is, I don't know. 4:36 is tuki. 4:36 is tuki. He's a touch sensitive tuki, and he comes around on Tuesdays. Remember that one? Today's Tuesday. He's a touch sensitive tuki, and he comes around on Tuesdays. That was in September of 2022. He's a touch sensitive tuki, and he comes around on Tuesdays. He's a touch sensitive tuki. He knows just what to say. He's a touch sensitive tuki. It's a parrot. It's very sensitive. He's a touch sensitive tuki, because the keyboard is touch sensitive. Whatever. I don't know. I guess the parrot was playing on the keyboard. He's a touch sensitive tuki. It's 4:36. 4:35 is Achya Hashiloni. Ahijah the Shilonite is equal to 4:35, and 4:34 is Mashiach ben David. 4:33 is Mishpacha, family. 4:32 is Tevel, it's the world. 4:31, 4:30 is Gula Shlema, and Misparim. Stop there. But those weren't the numbers of today. The numbers of today on the English calendar, today's September 2nd, so it's always going to be in 32. The rule of 40 states that any box can go ad infinitum if you add 40. So 32 is equivalent to 72, is equivalent to 112, is equivalent to 152, to 192, etc. 2,032,000. So, what is special about 32? What does it have to do today? Well, today, the first thing I went to my email, I got an email from a guy named Dave, and the English gematria of Dave is 32. How does that work? How does that work? D is fourth letter, A is the first letter, V is the 22nd letter, and E is the fifth letter. 4 plus 1 plus 22 plus 5 is 32. How does that work? That the first email that I get is from someone named Dave, and it's on the calendar, it's 32. That's what I mean by gematriatic quantum thought calendar, where the gematrionic continuum, if you will, the gematrionic momentum has it such that its thought and time have become interwoven together, as it were, and it's a singularity. I understand what a singularity is now. It's when there is no difference. You cannot separate between the two things. They become one. And that's what happened here. It's like today, it's like imagine, I'm not saying it was 7:32, but it could have been 7:32 a.m. No, it wasn't 7:32. It was more like 8:32. Let's just say it was 8. It was around. Actually, it was around. No, it was 8:51. It's close enough to 8:30. Let's say it was 8:32. 8:32 is like 32. 8:32 is 6:32. Is 4:32. Is 2:32. Is 32. They're all the same number by the rule of 40. So when I look at 32, I'm seeing Dave, and Dave is 32, and this box is today's day, which is 32. Okay, I think I got the point right across. Now, I said 8:51, right? Well, on the Hebrew calendar, today is the 9th of Elul, and the 9th of Elul appears in box 11. Well, guess what? 11 is the patriarch of 851. How do you know about that? I mean, what do you know? That's the expression I was looking for. What do you know? 11 is today's day, and 11 plus 40 is 41. 11 plus 40 is 51. 51 plus 40 is 91. Plus 40 is 131. Plus 40 is 171. Plus 40 is 211. Plus 40 is 251. 251, 451, 651, 851. 8:51 a.m. is when I registered my response to Dave, who is 32, and it was at 8:51, which is a direct descendant by the rule of 40 of 11, which is also today on the Hebrew calendar. Now, that's all nice, but those are secular examples. Now, the idea would be to merge the Siddur. And the Siddur, it's an idea, certain prayers that I have gematria times. If you look at each word here, you can see every word is gematria times. Now, I don't know how many people in the Jewish world are interested in that. I've noticed that gematria is not so big in the Jewish world. It is for some people like it. Some people think it's kooky. Some people say it's interesting, I appreciate it, but it's really not that substantive. It's like, it's cute, but it's not really the meat. It's not really and what I'm trying to work on, what I'm working on and trying to bring forth as a thesis is that gematria is a hard science. It's just as substantive as math or science, physics, any of the hard sciences. Gematria is a study in and of itself with rules and different methods for various applications. And it's the knowledge of numbers, and it's not simply numerology. But numerology carries a certain feel to it. But the word tefillati I'm looking at here, my prayer. Now, today I discovered the idea of mirror time, which is fascinating. It's like when you put a clock to a mirror, you see the reflected image. And whatever that reflected image is, it's the mirror time. So let's say it was 9:20. It was 9:20 when I discovered that. But what's interesting is that today, 9:20 is a permutation of 9:02. But that's today. September 2nd is 9:02. And at 9:20 a.m., without conscious, I didn't correlate them. I know skeptics might be thinking that I tried to make it that way. No, I didn't. It just happened that way. That at 9:20 a.m. is when I registered the mirror time. The mirror time of 9:20 is 2:40. And 2:40 is a pretty famous gematria that, let's just say, if you know gematria well, you'll probably know what 240 is. And it's more on the negative side. But it can be rectified. But I'll say that first. Everyone knows, I think, who knows gematria, that Amalek is 240. And everyone knows that Safek is 240. Something means doubt. And Amalek attacked them, the Israelites, when they were weak, etc. And that's what the evil force does to us when we have doubt. That's when we can be attacked. And when we're weak, doubts can attack us. So the word doubt and Amalek have the same numerical value, which is really interesting in its own right. But that's like a very, very famous one. But there's other ones for 240 that are not bad. They're actually very good, but most people don't know it. I would say most people do not know that in Ashrei, if you go into the prayer of Ashrei that we say in the morning and the afternoon, there's a verse there. It's Psalm 145. Psalm 145. it says, I'll get it here so you can see it actually for yourself. It says, Tzaddik Adonai b'chol derachav, v'chasid b'chol ma'asav. God is righteous in all of his ways. His ways, derachav, is equal to 240. Okay? His ways. That's not bad at all. That's very good. So you're saying that Amalek is like his ways? No. It's the same number, but you can't mix them up. Can you say that twice is bad? Pa'amayim equals 240. Pa'amayim, 2 times. Is that bad? No, it's not bad. So there are other words that are, but 240 is the mirror. It's a clock mirror clock time of 920 when I discovered mirror time. So that would leave me with the task of finding out why it was at that time that I discovered clock time. B'tzil tzilei, no, that's not. 32 is 72 is 112. Went up the line, looking around. All right, I think that's good for now. Can't seem to find any more of it. But so the lucky numbers are, I'm glad I remembered, the lucky numbers for today of the PL-89 are 32, which is H4. That's the Shtiva Erev coordinates. H4. I'm sorry, wrong. Right. H is H4 is 32, and that's on the English calendar. That's September 2nd, and on the Hebrew calendar, it's the 9th of Elul, which would be G5. G5 is 11. And Elul 10 would be H5. It's in the Islamic calendar. So I think that would be enough for today.